Welcome to the Stickers on the Mic podcast, brought to you by StickerGiant.com, where we talk with our customers about how they started their business, how they're marketing their brand, and how they're growing their company. Without further ado, it's time for the Stickers on the Mic podcast from Sticker Giant. Let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome to Stickers on the Mic once again. Andrew here with you. Very excited to be joining you as always. And joining us today is Briana Boehmer from Run the Edge in Boulder, Colorado. Briana, thank you for joining us.
You are very welcome. Happy to be here.
Right on. So our story is one of my favorite kind of serendipities in when I can find guests, which is there's a lot of ways I can find people to talk on our show, but you took the time out of your day to give us some feedback on our survey gizmo, and I was able to connect with you and, of course, see your story. And, it's cool to, of course, see your Colorado business, not unlike ourselves, but you have an outdoor-focused mission, fitness, and all that stuff. So why don't you tell us a little bit what Run the Edge is all about?
Absolutely. First, I do have to say, as a small business, I love giving feedback to other small businesses. And so I try to make a point to do that. So I'm so glad you then did something with it because, it matters, I feel like, in this day and age of Amazon, right? So, but Run the Edge, we, as you said, were founded in Boulder. Actually founded by an Olympian and his best friend. They started with just writing a book called Running the Edge. The Olympian is Adam Goucher. His wife, Kara, is also an Olympian and silver medalist in the World Championships. So they're kind of a fixture in the fitness community here. And then his good friend, Tim Catalano, they wrote this book, and we're just trying to spread kind of the love of running and beyond the really hardcore training aspect of it. Right. And Running the Edge, the idea was finding your edge in life through running and other activities. And they got this huge community that kind of formed back in the day when Facebook didn't have all the rules that it has. And all of a sudden you had tons of people following you, and they just decided, a few years into their journey of just spreading the word of happiness through running, that they would try to do a challenge with their community. And they thought, it'd just be fun to see if people can run the year. Mm-hmm. They're like, if you can run the miles in the year, wouldn't that be cool? And they're like, they thought maybe they'd get a couple thousand people to sign up. They literally had a spreadsheet, and you signed up on a spreadsheet. Yeah. And
super grassroots, right? Super grassroots.
Totally. Yeah.
In the age of all these registration systems, we've worked with some, and I've personally done events. So you go register online and you do this and you get your thing and all that. But this was in 2015. So running the year meant running 2,015 miles.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it goes from there in 2015 and it turns into an actual staple. Thing. Right. Yeah. It's a mark your calendar kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, they thought literally a couple thousand people would sign up. And then on that spreadsheet that they put out, 25,000 people signed up.
What? That's that's a big spreadsheet. That requires a proper CRM just to manage all that data, right?
Yeah. They basically peed their pants. They were like, oh my God, what are we supposed to do?
That's the classic good problem to have. All of a sudden you stepped in it and you're like, cool, here we are. So let's go. And you create a whole system. So after that, though, Run the Edge continues to grow. Then you have, Run the Year, like you said. Then there's a marathon, Hug a Runner, Streaker Series, the Uncanceled Project, Fit Life. There's all these different sort of brands underneath Run the Edge. What are all these different things doing?
It's a good question. I mean, it still goes back to their original mission, which is to find joy through movement. It started with running, but then there was hey, how can we find joy through all types of movement? Which created kind of our motto of everyone included, everyone challenged, everyone successful. And so all of these challenges, they're different, but they're all ways to find health and happiness through movement, and just in different ways. Because some people obviously are a little bit more, the Boulder word advanced, but advanced in their fitness, and others are just hey, if I can walk, a mile, that's a big deal. And so we have challenges for everybody at whatever stage they're at. And so that's what those are all about, is trying to find ways to get people to move, and do it in a way that's community-based, not competition, about just getting out there and being healthy and finding, again, that joy through the movement. So
I missed too. There's Joggle and then there's Hero Journeys. So there's this gamified sort of thing.
We try.
Well, like especially Hero's Journey, it's like challenge packages. There's a cost, of course. You're syncing with your, your device. And I personally love fitness. I used to work in the fitness space myself with GPS apps and stuff. So, and we could always be more fit, and it's always a journey, right? Like it's why it's cool that I love the hero's journey in general. Just I teach a whole class about that with Star Wars, but like, like when you can be the hero of your own life and do something, it allows you to see the challenges and try to overcome them, etc. You can, go
That's
there.
so cool you get that. Cause that was our point with that one. And like, not everyone knows the hero's journey, even though they do, like you said, Star Wars, it's like, people know it, but they don't know it. And so, they don't know
like that there's these, like, it's a gated process.
It's a stage.
You have to like face this and you have to face that. And each one is this actualization of yourself. So anyway, I like that. And I like the whole knights in armor thing. I think there's like a fun sort of element to that. I mean, it's a tech, there's tech involved too, right? So it's not just events and it's fitness, but there's tech, right?
Yes.
And in your role as the COO, by the way, like you've completed 6 full Ironmans, you've done the world championship, you ran collegiately at CU and was at University of Wisconsin. So you're also a fitness person, right? Like you get what it can mean to somebody, not necessarily competitive. Cause again, you throw a ball and you'll hit an Olympian in Boulder County. Right?
That's so true.
So like that, or whatever the phrase is, you fish in a barrel, right? But like,
right.
But as the COO of this like event / tech / community platform, like you said, what is your role in that? And then how can, how are you helping with, as a team, you're a big team, right? So what does that look like for you?
Thank you for asking that. It's a great question. I mean, it's funny in the world of tech, it's a very scalable kind of a business, but yet there's so much that goes on. And we're actually, like in so many ways where we have a startup type environment. I don't know if it's the same at Sticker Giant, but like, we're not like Amazon, we're a smaller business. And so I wear every single hat, it's like I help manage marketing. I help, manage our tech stack and, what are we building next? And obviously, looking, to the future of what can we do, years down the road. So future planning and budgeting and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I literally wear every hat. I even answer customer service tickets. I mean, I do everything. Awesome. But we have to, right? Like as a small business, you have to, but I thrive off of that. And I think we all do because we feel like ownership in what we do. Everything that goes out, everyone on the team pretty much had some sort of touch point on. So like when you see collateral that goes out the door, I mean, I have a graphic designer. I didn't necessarily design it, but I was part of the ideation process. And, when my developer codes something new, I mean, the whole team was behind how that's supposed to look and feel and what it's supposed to do, so, So yeah, it's a full-time job, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And it sounds cheesy, but what we do, we get emails from people all the time saying it's changed their lives. And I think that is, what is the cherry on top, right? That it's worth all that extra hours and work. I mean, Run the Year in particular, I'm not going to lie. Like if you can imagine Run the Year, it's a huge challenge. And it comes to a head on January 1st when everybody's logging in for the first time. And I mean,
you got to worry about the platform keeping up at that time of year.
Yeah. We're literally working 24/7 when everyone else is on vacation, right? Like from Christmas through New Year's, we are like literally.
Well, in the fitness space, so that's like go time, right? I mean,
it is.
January is a big one. And then always summertime, just people are more active. For sure. But and that equates, if it's 2023, that's like 5.5-ish miles a day.
It is.
So that's
40 miles a week.
40 miles a week. Yeah. And so that is a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, and yet not, because it's a manageable chunk, but you also might do your 10-mile day or there's that sort of training aspect if you're, able to budget time.
Yeah. We've also, one of the things we did is you can do it as a team, and that's actually over 50% of our participants will do it as a team. And it's been a great way for people to kind of, have a connection to family members or friends that don't live nearby. They kind of have this goal of like, together, let's run the year.
Nice.
And one of our new things we did coming into 2023, our developer coded in the ability for teams of up to 100, and that you can actually 10x your miles if you want to. So, because we've had so many people who are like, I want to run the year 10 times because they're on a big team.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay.
Yeah.
So we try to listen to our feedback, just like you, I'm sure, you guys listen to what people are asking for. And so people Like we want big teams and we want to see how many miles our team can actually accumulate in the year. So instead of just running the year once, like how many times can our team of 10 or 20 run the year? Right. So next year we actually coded in the ability to have teams of up to 100, to set your team goal of up to 10 times the year.
Oh, wow.
And people want to do, I mean, it's crazy what people want to do. And so it's cool too. You know,
well,
like,
especially when it's gamified, like, and there's incentives like for $70 or whatever, a marathon, you get maps, you get medals, you get passports, you get app, you get shirt, you get community, you get videos, you get all of the things that are sort of de rigueur for tech app, but then there's the bonuses, right? And so that's like classic. I also like running across America 35-21. That's kind
Isn't that cool? Yeah,
that's cool.
And it's not like, you know, like you probably know this, like it's not a one day thing. It's not you don't sign up for 5K and do it in one day and be done. Like this is a long term thing, right. So it's kind of cool. Like you don't. It's a very affordable way to have a fitness goal, right? Because you're going to pay less than most 5Ks cost, but you have something that's going to last.
Or a $70 a month gym membership, you know?
Right.
For $70, you know, it's $5 a month for a year. Or whatever the case may be. So, you know, with events and making it sort of virtual, especially, right? That in a way was sort of like COVID proof-ish. People still, of course, there's a lot of, trepidation, of course, for the last couple of years. But how did you? I mean, you've been around since before COVID, so you can kind of give a compare and contrast. What have you seen either before, during, or after? Or what is, you know, what are the learnings from that time period, especially when it comes to your platform and your message?
Yeah, that's a great question. So pre-COVID, we were like one of the only companies in this space. Like the idea of doing this like virtual challenge, this online challenge. Was fairly unknown, and COVID brought all these competitors out of the woodwork because people were locked up and they couldn't go do their running races and they couldn't go to the gym. And so we saw all these people coming up, and it's actually been a challenge for us because we're like, hey, we've been here for a really long time and we're established and we know what we're doing. Kind of competing against these other companies. And then also people understanding what it was that we did in comparison to these like flash in the pan.
Well, like for instance, we support a ton of 5Ks all around the country, but especially here in Longmont, there's the various breweries that do these things, and we do a sticker sheet for them, whatever. But they, of course, it was like run on your own and then log it. And I don't remember there being a super tied in like tech specific thing where you're uploading data or doing live tracking or whatever.
Right.
And so that obviously is sort of for y'all a key differentiator, perhaps.
Totally. Yeah. And those are different because we're not this one day event. And so it is. But, you know, it's funny too, because people didn't necessarily know the difference right off the bat. They just saw virtual and they figured, oh, you know, it's a virtual event. And it's like, well, no, not really. I mean, those one day 5Ks have a completely different kind of objective.
Yeah.
And it was really helpful, obviously, for people during the pandemic to have that. But we did get a lot of competitors come out trying to do like longer term challenges. And then post COVID time, trying to still navigate that what we do is actually a compliment, you know? So like like you noted, like I am an athlete already. I already go out and log my miles. The idea is if I do run the year, it's that I'm already logging miles, but how about have my miles go towards a bigger goal, running the year, right? Because I'm going to run, but can I also run the year at the same time? I'm going to run my local 5K. I'm going to run that local 10K, but can those miles go towards this larger goal that kind of keeps me motivated? And so that's kind of been our post-COVID, trying to allow people to, you know, obviously they're getting out, they're doing these events. Can your miles and the activities that you do actually go towards a bigger purpose?
How do they add into your training regimen too, right?
Yeah.
Like, it should be an add-on. It should be, you know, what is that phrase? Yes, and. It's like,
yes, and I like that.
It's the classic thing where it's like, yeah, do your 5K, do your Shoes and Brews 5K, do your Boulder or whatever. Do your Chicago Marathon. But while you're doing that, this is your platform to level up. And that was actually, we kind of skipped right over that level up. That's kind of a part of the brand too, because that came out of Running the Edge. That's like the training plans, et cetera, that kind of helped build the platform, I presume, right?
Yeah, it did. It was a cool idea from both Tim and Adam of like how to gamify your training. And so like as you continue to get, you know, more fitness, you kind of level up. They try to make it more fun because, you know, the traditional training, this is not necessarily known by everybody, but it can be kind of intense, right? You know, it's like you get these training plans and they seem so intense. Like you got to do these really hard workouts. And so they were like, let's make training fun, like if you're going to train for your 5K, and of course you want to, like, I don't care who you are, you have a time goal. Let's make it fun so that when you're out there, it's not like this chore. And so that was part of their idea with the training plans and the challenges is like make fitness fun again. That was one of our little phrases is make fit fun. Yeah. Cause I think sometimes fitness, you think about when you're a kid. I
have to go to the gym.
I have to run the school mile. Like it's not fun. Right. Yeah.
We make our kids go to 100-mile club in the morning just cause it's good activity.
Nice.
and sometimes I'll run or walk with them if we have the time. It's nice it's just something to do together.
That's awesome.
But, so, you've got all, again, you've got various challenges. You've got the merch that ties into it. You can buy the merch one off if you want. You don't have to do a whole thing, if you want to reward yourself. And, obviously you came to Sticker Giant. How are the stickers playing into this sort of productized world that you have?
It's interesting. So like stickers are one of the things that people ask for all the time. It's like I'm sure there's different reasons for why people will use your product, but for us, it's like kind of a little bit of a badge of honor. Like they want the sticker to kind of show that they did something. And so we've used our stickers in multiple ways. Sometimes they're just one-off stickers that you could put like on a water bottle or whatever, saying that you did this thing. But we've also used Sticker Giant to make stickers that help with like booklets that we make, where they might stick a sticker in the booklet to go along with like a milestone that they're like. So it can be gamified. We'll use it for gamification within a challenge, and sometimes just as kind of recognition of something you did. But it's amazing. Like if we don't have, it's funny. There's two things like that. If we don't have a medal and if we don't have stickers, people get mad. And so like, I don't know, it's like they have to have a way to show that they've done what they've done, or they want to like kind of spread the word, or, like I said, with the gamification aspect, some way to like make it engaging.
Yeah. Tangible. Right.
Tangible, yeah. The stickers.
I love like the little necklace on the Hero's Journey one. Like I could imagine that being like the little talisman for someone who like wakes up or they put it on and it's like, remember what you're capable of, right? It's like, it's past just like having good cardiovascular health or whatever,
it is.
muscle strength and elasticity. It's more about inspiring yourself and staying motivated in the case of these community events when you have 100 people on your team or your corporate challenge or whatever. Like, kind of that higher purpose than self. So, like you said, you learned some things, you got some competition, but you're also expanding the platform. So 2023 is really upon us, right? I mean, and like you said, and December kicks into your battle planning, so to speak. Not a great analogy, but you're planning your January campaign because you got to get out there and get the message out, get people signed up in advance, and or, oh, cool, not too late, it's January 15th, whatever, like join Run the Edge and Run the Year or whatever, or do your marathon, do your joggle. So what does it look like in Q4 basically, which is now, planning for 2023 and how this continues?
Yeah, you hit on it. Like we are in full on marketing mode, working on different types of collateral to get the message out, messaging current users, trying to build like that organic message to people who don't know about us. It's become harder and harder, as you probably know too, with just the world of marketing. So getting that out, but at the same time, we're also, even though so Run the Year, we spend all year planning it. People don't realize there's a lot that goes into it. And so we've been planning Run the Year since March. Right. But even while we're doing marketing for these new events, we're still scheming on new things as well for next year. So it's kind of like a balance of the two, where we're, putting out a lot of marketing. And we just had a marketing meeting this morning, actually, of our next push to get the word out. Because people too, and I don't know if you guys see this, but are a little bit last minute. We get the majority of our people to sign up for Run the Year on December 31st.
You don't think people are last minute in the age of being able to get things on the same day that you order them? People are being trained not to plan, right? Which is unfortunate, especially when you work in a B2B space, like we do. Like
so hard.
That's why we're already messaging stock up on holiday stuff for November Small Business Saturday. Yeah. And speaking of November, you have this. I I misread this, and now I understand what it is. The Streaker series is just about keeping a streak every day. Again, gamifying. It's not what it would have seemed. So that's just fun branding, right?
It is fun branding. It's a play on words.
Yeah, you weren't encouraging. Now they look at the way the little dog tags work. You're not actually trying to get people to run naked, although that's a very Boulder thing. Maybe Boulder 20 years ago. Maybe Boulder 20, 30 years ago. That would have been great in the 90s in Boulder. Maybe not as much anymore. So there's all sorts of ways to get involved on a monthly basis. Yes. And then there's these huge things to tackle, like a marathon or running.
Right. Yeah.
So you have a lot of options for people.
We do. And that the Streaker series is a perfect one for like entry level. It's like, just how many days in a row can you exercise? And you don't have to the goal is the whole month, but you don't have to. Like, we give away prizes to people for exercising as little as 4 days in a row. Mm-hmm. Just to try to help like motivate. And so, yeah, it's a great entry level kind of like, hey, do you want to have it's a small little goal? Like, how many days in a row can you actually get out and move?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, we tried to kind of actually, when we invented Streaker, that's 3 years ago, it was definitely the idea. It was like, we're going streaking, but like just streaking, like how many days in a row can you? But exactly. We definitely tried to play on words.
So you mentioned that it started with 25,000 people on a spreadsheet. You're pushing that on Instagram now, however many years later, and you have all the social platforms. Again, for people listening, it's runtheedge.com, and then you're on the various social platforms, pretty much under that branding, if you can find the right, sort of account. Yes. So everyone go follow them: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. But like you said, you're already working on 2023. You have these monthly challenges, and you're already, whether it's the lucky streaker, the dancing streaker, that can continue into next year, and you can sort of one off those if you want. And of course, we're encouraging everyone to be healthier, right? So that's kind of the push today, fitness.
Yes. And sign up before December 31st.
Yes, of course. Getting people to plan ahead is always tough. But any sort of parting thoughts for our audience? As like I said, we're entering kind of that busy time of year when you can lose sight of fitness and your own physical, mental health. Any last sort of thoughts for the folks out there?
I mean, just along that line, actually. And I know this has been a little bit of sometimes I feel like almost taboo right now, but it's really important is, our mental health and the things that we've gone through with COVID and all the things that are happening in society, taking time to focus on the things that make you happy and healthy. Right. And certainly for us, that's the goal of our company. Is we're just trying to provide ways for people to be happy and healthy. And it's not about how fast you go. It's not about how good you look doing it. Like, it's just that you're doing it. And so that's why we're here. And the more people we can spread that message, we feel like that will actually help. It's going to sound cheesy, but change the world in a good way. The more happy, healthy people out there, there's nothing better, right? And so that's kind of our hope, and that people will come at least to what we do with that in mind. Nice. Is that it's just about getting out and hopefully bettering yourself a little bit. Right. So, and I mean, to your point earlier, I love supporting small business. So, yeah. I mean, not just us, but supporting the small businesses that are trying to make a difference, to me is a big thing. So,
right. You have partnerships. You're trying to like get the right products into people, yes. whether it's nutrition or gear or,
yes.
The local things, especially again in the Boulder and Colorado community. It's a very active community, and people are brand loyal, and they want to get the best thing for the thing and be very targeted and tailored to their needs. So,
yeah.
That's why I appreciate the message of everyone challenged, everyone included, everyone successful.
Yes, so thank you, Andrew.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it, and what y'all are doing there. We always close the show. We always say every sticker has a story. Today's story, of course, is you all run the edge and trying to encourage fitness experiences that are innovative, that make people happy and healthier and all that stuff, right?
Thank you so much. I love that. Every sticker has a story. It's true.
It's true. Thank you again for joining us. Head to runtheedge.com, folks, if you're interested in your own hero's journey to begin your fitness planning. And good luck with Run the Year 2023.
Thank you so much. I hope you'll join us. That'd be awesome.
I need some motivation, I think.
There you go.
Thanks again for your time. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And we'll see you next time. That wraps up this episode of Stickers on the Mic, brought to you by StickerGiant.com. You can download us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks again for listening to Stickers on the Mic. We'll see you next time.